Welcome to Coffee and Chats with myself, Adam and Kels. And today is Tuesday, the 14th of July, halfway through July. And today we are in two locations. So I'm currently in England and Kels is back in Cyprus, holding down the fort with all the kids whilst I'm away in London. So one thing I have noticed though, and today we're going to be talking about this, is sleep. And one thing I have noticed is that I'm actually getting up a hell of a lot. I'm getting up a lot earlier in the UK than I would do. You know, even though there's only a 2 hours time difference, I'm finding myself waking up at 4:30 in the morning. So probably for the first time ever, I'm actually probably part of the 5 a.m. club. But anyway, moving on to Kels, because I know this is a subject that Kels wanted to talk about this week. So Kels, talk to me. Like, what is it about sleep that you wanted to discuss this week?
Can we just talk about the fact that you're getting up early when you're not with all of us? When there's less noise of us here, you somehow get up later.
Sorry, the connection's it's a bit sketchy.
Yeah,
the
I'm
connection.
sure.
Could you repeat? Yeah.
Sure. Let's get into it. So sleep. Wow. This is where I'm at this week, because last week mine took a hit and it was all my fault. Well, actually, for a little bit, I wanted to blame Ads.
No, I'm blaming Tom.
Series. And let's talk about how easy it is when we're watching something on Netflix, and before we even have the opportunity to switch it off, it's already rolling on the next one. And normally I'm very disciplined with my bedtime. I won't negotiate on it. Like, Ad knows this. He'll say to me, do you want to come out for an episode? And I'll be like, no, I'm done. It's bedtime. I think it's crucial. But for me, like, he's not here currently, and most of the time when he is here, and we don't have outside support. So if I'm not getting my sleep, my energy's down, my mood is not great. And not only have I got to show up for myself, I've got to show up for 3 small humans. And the impact it had last week, because I stayed up a little bit later, just 2 nights in a row, the hit it had on me, the toll it took physically and mentally. I was tired. I just didn't want to move as much, like the daily things that I enjoy doing, going out for a walk, doing my exercise. I was like, I didn't want to do that. My hunger increased, time back some energy, like it was going up. And I was just emotional. Like, I was struggling just to get a grip of the day. And it's funny, but it's not, because so many of us do this. And we tell ourselves it's normal to feel this way. Oh, it's just normal because we're older, you know, it's part of that. But actually, it's not normal, and you don't have to feel that way. But one thing I will say on it is we've got to stop blaming. We have to take absolute ownership and responsibility. Because at first I said to Ad, this is your fault. You introduced me to this series and blah, blah, blah. But I still could have got up away at just the one I chose to. But the lesson learned quickly after 2 nights, and my body took a hit. And the reason I wanted to talk about it is because when you're operating at a high level and you've got business to run, staff to look after, and you're neglecting yourself, then the impact it has on you, and then the ability to manage, run, show up, make a decision for the team has such an effect. Like, guilty. And then how do you think, like, if you actually reflected on your day, how it's affecting your daily decisions, your actions, your ability to execute? Because it affects you, 100% it affects you. And I am, like, responsible. I run a team at home. I have a team to run. And I know for those 3 little humans, they're not slowing down. And I just want to talk about it because I really think people need to recognize that you can change it. And the difference just by going to bed 15 minutes earlier at first, just saying no to that next episode.
Yeah. So before we I think if we could get people just to resonate with it, right? So what the normal feelings? So what are the feelings that you felt? You felt that you woke up and you was tired, lethargic in
Groggy.
the morning, groggy, right? You felt off edge. You were more hungry. You know, your appetite increased because you felt that you just needed to get food into you. But what was the food that you
To
were
find
choosing?
energy.
But what was the food that you were consuming? Was it actual nutritious food, or would most people be going for biscuits, cakes, crisps, things like sausage rolls or whatever, just to get through that next little bit? Okay.
Yeah. For me,
Caffeine cons-
fortunately, we
caffeine
don't. Yeah.
consumption, that increases, doesn't it? Yeah.
Caffeine consumption, or you will literally anything
Yeah, that's it, right?
just
Caffeine
try,
consumption.
like,
It could be soft drinks, that could increase. Not only that, it's like, what about you as a personality? Are you nice? I'm not saying that you weren't nice to be around, but for some
I wasn't
people,
nice to be around. I
no.
didn't enjoy my own company.
No, but for some people, then they become snappy, they become sharp, they become, not nice. Would you say that for the people watching this, are you actually nice to be around? Who knows? And then look at your decision making. Are you on the ball? Are you making those quick decisions, or are you being, reactive to the actual thing because you're thinking, oh no, it's gonna be hard, it's gonna hurt. All of these things. So again, just from a couple of nights sleep, that's the impact. But then it's about checking in with yourself. The people watching this, they need to check in. What are you like? If you had to, look at what we've just said there, where are you in all of this? Can you resonate with any of what we've just said?
Or not even that, like the first step as well. I think it would be fair to say, as some people, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, would associate the fact that late nights then equal all these behaviors and habits. They would just think,
No.
I'm just tired because we're busy, but they wouldn't necessarily be aware to be like, this is because I'm having late nights. Because what I now know for sure is a successful morning, a successful day starts with the night before.
And then also it
And
actually starts the morning before, because it's all a snowball.
exactly, I
Yeah.
think, like I said, it's just bringing some. If you are aware that you're like, I'm feeling like a bit different, I'm just feeling off. Before we start blaming external things, like sit down with yourself and be like, what's going on right now? What's different? Could it be the fact that we're now entering like the summer period? So obviously the weather's a lot hotter, and I get that it has an impact on sleep. Could it be the fact the kids are off school now, more plates are spinning? So then you find that to claw back that time for yourself, because I know for a fact in this house, even though I'm making sure they're still getting a good night, they're not necessarily getting to bed as early because it's hot. It's still day, like, we've got more sunshine hours. So all these things can actually impact you. So what would be like the first thing you'd say to someone, like, oh yeah, this is 100% me?
First thing I would say is like, look, you've got to start getting some boundaries. Everything starts with boundaries. Yes, you can go to bed early, but there's no point going to bed early if you're going to bed and you're going to be watching TV in the bedroom, or being on your phone, or responding to emails. Like, you've got to create what we call in the Backing Charge blueprint, that blackout. Like, you have to create blackout times. And that starts in the morning. So the first hour of the day, you have to create a blackout. And then also the last evening as well, you need to create a blackout. Create those. then if you can create those, then it's then, okay, cool, I've then got space then. I think we've lost Kels. So, but that is what, and that is what we would be, that is what we'll be looking at. So currently we've got 3 of you, Kels. So I'm just going to try and remove this one. Kels, can you hear me? Oh, we can't hear you. So yeah, that is what we will be doing. All right, that is what we'll be doing. We'll be looking at creating that blackout time for you. So then you can then actually, it's not about doing more, it's actually about doing less. Once you get that, then you can actually get the space there that you can actually do something, you know, you can move into. But again, people don't realize it. Like Kerrie said, like people think they're just tired because work is busy. They can't see it. Right? They can't see what's actually going on. But that is where we have our health snapshot. Okay, that is where we have our health snapshot. Okay, and this actually helps us identify what is actually going on with you currently. Because having an outside set of eyes is sometimes what's needed to actually see what is going on. Okay. So all it is a free, it's 12 questions. It takes 2 minutes to complete, but it's going to give you, some clarity. It's going to give you something to focus on. And also the first 2 to 3 steps that needs to happen for you to then actually make that progress. So if you can see along the bottom, I'm saying is if you like access to this free health snapshot, please comment on this video or DM me or Kerrie snapshot, and we'll be able to send it to you. So then we can actually identify the biggest block in your current health at the moment and your routines that is stopping you from progressing. So if it is your sleep, if you are finding yourself groggy, snappy, decisions are slow, then this is for you. So then we can actually see, well, what is actually going on? And where you think you might need to concentrate, that might actually be wrong. So please comment on it, or if you don't want to do it, send myself or Kerrie a message and we'll gladly send this snapshot over to you. So we've completely lost Kels now. Not a problem. It is the Wi-Fi in Cyprus is a bit sketchy at the best of times anyway, but I do hope this has helped. And this is a subject that we will want to be discussing a hell of a lot more going forwards, as it is so, so important for just general health. Sleep has such an impact on everything. So again, been a pleasure, nice, short and sharp, and we will